Hello. Okay, the hair up. This hair's got to always be up. Don't get people who cook with their hair down. Okay. Hello, welcome back everybody. This is Marylin from Rossano's Casa. We are back this week. So last week was a little bit of a different video. I kind of took you behind the scenes of how I organised and planned a supper club that I host here in the studio. You can go back and watch it. It was different, right? But I thought I would show you a bit of different aspects of le business. Anyway, but this week I'm back with the recipe, and I am thinking about making this recipe at my next supper club. So also, friendly reminder, if you like any of these episodes, please subscribe, like, and share. It would mean the world. But yeah, so the first supper club that I did, so I'm doing two types, and mainly to kind of like gauge what people are interested in. So the first type is like what I love, it's sort of like a pop-up, right? Where you come, you eat, it's a surprise menu. I curate the menu a week before because I really like to channel like what I'm kind of feeling like cooking, you know, and it was very much Middle Eastern inspired. And I made a beautiful chicken shawarma like pieces, which I'm going to do the same here, skin on, bone on, thigh, sort of cutlets. So I marinated them the night before using a shawarma marinade from the book Palestine, where I made the chicken shawarma pie from. So I use the same sort of marinade with the spices, marinated the chicken pieces overnight, grilled them skin side down, whatever, then transferred them to a baking tray with like onions, cherry tomatoes. I like to do currants or dried figs. But anyway, so I want to kind of take that, like that kind of component, maybe make it at the next supper club, but different. If you don't know me, I'm Marylin, and I'm a chronic fresh herb lover. I feel like fresh herbs make any recipe taste good. That is your key to flavour. However, I had an idea, and this is going to be a little test run. You will get the recipe for this. But yeah, it's a 2-in-1. Trialing it out for supper club, but also I want to give it to you guys. So I have some skin on, bone on chicken thigh cutlets. I am going to, the thought of this is crispy chicken pieces without having to deep fry. I don't really like deep fried food. Well, look, sometimes there's a time and place for it. I don't generally cook it, but I do love something crispy. So yeah, anyway. So I'm going to coat this in a beautiful corn flour kind of coating, but I'm going to add spices to that to marinate it. Grill it, pan fry it, whatever you want to call it, pan sear it on a non-stick pan outside. I grill outside, if you know what I mean. Put it in a pan, skin side down for a few minutes, flip it over, and then transfer it to a baking tray, put it in the oven, and then add a beautiful fresh herb relish on top, which I'm going to do here, and give you all the tips and tricks and substitutions along the way, because there is coriander in here, and I know a lot of people do not like coriander, and that is okay because you literally can leave it out. So anyway, apart from that, let's flip the camera around, let's go through the ingredients, and let's get cooking. Yeah, I think that's it. You can also see any supper club details on my website. All right, let's get cooking. Let's go through this. I've just finely diced some chili, which I'm going to add to a plate. All right, so I've got some chicken thigh pieces, skin on, bone on, that I have, I know, I've washed. I know some people are going to be like, oh, you do not wash your chicken. Well, it's a long-term debate, but it has a layer of gunk on there that, you know, it just sits there and it just looks disgusting. So anyway, wash or not wash, that's up to you. I'll leave that to you guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make like a corn flour mix in here. So corn flour, which is going to give it that kind of crunch without having to deep fry. I'm going to use some dried thyme and onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper. So I'm going to mix that up in this bowl, coat the chicken pieces, like dust it in there, put it aside. And then after we've cooked our chicken, I'm going to be making a beautiful herb. Well, I've already chopped half the ingredients, haven't I? So I've got spring onions, one long red chili that's been de-seeded. You can leave that out. You can use chili flakes. It's entirely up to you. There's some fresh coriander, Parsley, you don't like coriander, leave it out. No trouble at all. Fresh coriander, you could add dill to this. You could add fresh oregano. You could add thyme. Like, I probably wouldn't add basil to this because it might alter the flavor, but rosemary would work as well. So that, lime juice, garlic, you could add lemon juice. It doesn't matter. Preserved lemons, you could add that as well. Olive oil, salt and pepper. And that is it. So once we fry that up, we serve it up. Rice, bit of this on top. Delicious. So let's get the corn flour happening. Now I'm going to go in with about half a cup of corn flour. Now I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 pieces of chicken thigh cutlets. I think half a cup should be enough because we're just lightly coating, but I will give you guys the recipe. So if it requires more, we will alter that for you. I'm going to go in with some dried thyme. You could most definitely use paprika, smoked paprika. You could use dried oregano. You could use Italian herbs. It is entirely up to you. I'll leave that up to you. So onion powder and garlic powder. Now I know that this is just the coating, but I do feel like there needs to be some flavour in there. If there's no flavour, I feel like it's going to be, just not well seasoned, right? Because we've got to cook this quite a bit. And if people don't like herbs at the end, then you do want the chicken to at least have some sort of flavour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss this really well, making sure the corn flour and all the other spices are incorporated. Okay, then I'm going to grab each chicken piece and dust it quite well. If you know me by now, you would know that I do not like touching raw chicken. So I'm just going to use gloves. If anyone's like, real cooks don't use gloves, well, don't care. Okay, so I'm just going to coat it like that. Just pop it on a platter. Make sure that all of the chicken pieces are coated. Make sure that your chicken is not holding any residual like water or slime. So make sure you just pat them dry. Like I said, I wash mine. Controversial anyway, but I also made sure that I covered them in the fridge overnight. Just like had paper towels, so the skin, as you can see, it's just very easy to coat. It's nice and clean. There's no slimy, gunky, stinkiness on your chicken. Anyway, so I'm going to continue crumbing all these, and then we're going to hit the grill. And it looks like my hands are scales. I've got the corn flour mixture literally bang on here. Might be a little bit left over as well. Always start off with a bit less. I mean, it's corn flour, it's relatively cheap, but I just feel like once you've touched any like crumb mixture with chicken or fish or whatever, you can't keep it, you can't reuse it. So I hate chucking out. I don't like being wasteful. So I always like to start off with a little bit less and then add more as I need be. Anyway, I'm going to finish this off. We're going to hit the grill together. All right, at this point, you want to preheat your oven at 200 degrees. Okay, we're going to add a few tablespoons of just a neutral oil. I'm just using rice bran. You can use peanut, vegetable, whatever your preference is. I'm not going to shallow fry this. I'm just going to add in a few tablespoons. Okay, wait for that to warm up a little bit. Oh, you can see me. Hello, and my tripod. And I'll come back and grill the chicken. We are going to cook each chicken piece skin side down, right, for about 3 to 4 minutes, or 3 to 5 on each side. All right, and then I'm going to transfer them into a baking tray. So like I said, preheat your oven to 200. Don't overcrowd the pan because we don't want it to stew. Medium to medium-high heat, right? And then 3 to 4, 5 minutes each side, transfer it to the thing, and we'll finish it off in the oven for about 30 minutes or so. These are cooked for about 3 to 5 minutes each side. Definitely still raw in the middle. I'm just going to transfer each piece into a baking tray. Okay, and then we're going to bake them uncovered about 30 to 35 minutes. And we'll get on to our relish while they are baking in the oven. Chicken is in the oven, 200 degrees, uncovered in a baking tray. I've got the timer on for 30 minutes, but about 30 to 35 minutes, and it should be good to go. I do not recommend cooking it on the, the grill and serving it with the bone on and stuff. If you've got a boneless one, I would say maybe you could get away with it, but generally it will be raw with the bone on. So best to just pan fry it and then finish it off in the oven. Anyway, I have this beautiful herb relish. So I'm going to serve this chicken with this beautiful fresh herb relish, just literally just drizzled on top. Boiled rice, you can make mash, it is up to you. Noodles, whatever you like. I'll leave that to you. I'm going to do plain boiled rice, herb relish. You can grill up some corn as well, sweet potato. And see, I'm rambling, I'm going on, but I like to give you options just in case you're like, I don't like that. I'm like, oh, but I like that. So in here, I have parsley. I have coriander. You don't like coriander? Leave it out. Do not worry. I have spring onions, about a quarter cup. Chili, you could leave the chili out. It is up to you. You could use dried chili, whatever you like. I'm going to add in the juice of 2 limes, depending how big they are. I'm going to add it in. We want it quite zesty. These limes are anemic, to say the least. So I feel like I'm probably going to add some more lemon juice because I don't have any more limes left. But you want it to be quite acidic as well, because the chicken has fatty skin. You want this to kind of freshen it up a little bit. So I've added that. I'm going to taste it, but it looks like it's going to need a little bit more. I'm strong, I promise. Garlic, 1 to 2 cloves of crushed garlic. I'm just using my homemade minced garlic here. Salt, a couple of teaspoons or a tablespoon, probably a tablespoon. Cracked black pepper, as such. Measure with your heart. And look, my mum's neighbour gave some cold pressed. I'm so scared to open this because it's olive oil, but it's from Lebanon, and I can't open the lid. It's not jam in a cottage jar. You know what, Marylin? I don't want to say I need help when I need help. I didn't need help. I swear the lid came off. Anyway, oh my gosh, beautiful. So I like to use extra virgin olive oil. Look, I use light olive oil when I'm cooking and extra virgin when I'm, dressing a salad. Oh my goodness, this is divine. About 3 to 4 tablespoons, roughly, as such. There, I'm always scared with oil that it's going to spill because I do not want to clean that up off the floor. And then give it a good toss. You could add dill to this, you could add fresh oregano, you could add rosemary, whatever herb you like. But make sure the herbs kind of like go together. Like I don't think that I wouldn't put basil with coriander, to be very honest. But if you want a bit of an Italian kind of inspired one, you could use instead, with the thyme, you could add Italian herbs to that mix. You could leave the coriander out and do parsley and basil. Honestly, this is from my parents' garden. I've received a lot of fresh herbs. So I'm using what I received, okay? That is it. I'm going to set this aside, wait for the chicken to come out of the oven, let that rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we're going to plate up. Super delicious. I could eat this bowl of herbs on their own. I feel like even if you add this to a casserole, I love adding fresh herbs to the end of a dish. It gives different flavour, totally different flavour to cooking it in the process. They do different things, okay? Anyway, I'm going to check the lemon in that. I have a feeling I'm going to have to add more. Depends. Taste it. You like, if you don't have any lemons left, you could add red wine vinegar, white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, to your liking. And that's it. All right. Let's check on the chicken soon. All right, we've just taken this out of the oven. It's been 30 minutes. I'm going to check if it's done. So I'm just going to pierce it. See how the juice is clear? It's done. If it's pink, then yeah, you got to put it in for another 5 or so minutes. That was 200 degrees, fan force Celsius, for 30 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes. And there you have it. So I had a little bit of a change. I made some pearl couscous just on the stove top. Chicken cooked, so it took 30 minutes, 200 degrees Celsius, uncovered after I, pan fried it. I've let it rest for about 10-15 minutes. So I let that rest while the pearl couscous cooked. It's all about timing. And then I'm going to serve that with the beautiful herb relish on top. And I've got a beautiful radicchio, mint, and rocket salad situation because I'm just clearing out my fridge. And I had supper club last week and I made a salad and didn't use all the ingredients. So anyway, apart from that, I hope you enjoy it. The recipe, you can find it on the website. I will link it below for you. I hope you make it. I hope you love it. I would love to hear if you do, what you did different, if you did, what you added, your variation of it. I hope you enjoy it. If you have a dinner party, this is a perfect thing to make because you could literally cook, grill it up beforehand, pan fry it ahead of time, about an hour or so before guests arrive. Leave it in the baking tray and shove it in the oven as guests are arriving. And that way, it's not like you are preoccupied and having to really think because that's going to take another 30 minutes, while they're having some nibblies or whatever it is. Anyway, otherwise, great family-friendly meal. I could rave on and on and on about it. But I'm going to flip the camera around, we'll serve it up, eat it, and enjoy. Until next week, please like, subscribe, share with any friends that you think that you might like this. A lot of recipes on my website. I hope to see you at a supper club. Apart from that, bye. Bed of couscous. I'm going to take this beautiful crispy chicken right there. This herb relish. Let's dig in. Crispy chicken. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I want to bring the camera. Bring my trolley around too, guys. Perfect chicken. Not a raw piece inside. Herb relish, pearl couscous. So good. The herbs cut through any fat or floury taste that the chicken has. Not that it's floury, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like when you're having like crispy chicken, it can be quite fatty. This is pretty good, but the herbs, go make it.